Hey guys, I'm back. Here's the demonstrations for day number 2. The first move is a running man shuffle. Okay, so the running man shuffle, the easier version would be to step out 1 foot at a time. So you get the same arm and the same leg going. Okay, so just like when you do the knees high, the arms stay bent in the same position. They're moving, but the arms stay bent in the same spot. Okay, so if you can't jump it, this is the easier version. You're exaggerating your step, keeping the upper body up straight. Okay, to make it more advanced, you would jump it. And notice when I'm jumping, I'm just on the ball so my feet, the heels don't touch the ground, they're just barely hovering above the ground there. Okay, move number 2 is called a gorilla walk. You gotta make sure you have a mat, and you wanna keep your feet wider than your mat. Your hands, you're gonna have the weight on your hands and on your legs. Okay, you're gonna distribute the weight evenly, and you're gonna walk the feet and the hands together, okay? Just like you're on all fours. See how my knees stay close to the ground? And if it gets too hard, the easier thing to do is you just rest for a couple seconds. If you need to take a rest for a couple seconds, and then try to keep going. Okay, if I was working out of my house to this video and I had more room, I wouldn't use my mat. I would just walk as far as I could to the TV, and then go back as far as I could. So don't let the mat stop you. Okay, the third move is called a tire run. The tire run is just like you're running through tires. It's simulated. We're pretending they're there, and you're going to run the heels up, just like that, keeping your feet wider than your mat. Okay, to make this easier, you would walk the heels up and down. Okay, it doesn't mean you go at a slow pace. Walking the heels up towards the butt as much as you can. So those are the 2 ways to do the tire run. Fourth move is going to be a around the world push-up. Okay, around the world, I like to have the mat horizontal like this so I can rest on my knees if I need to. So the harder way would be to be on your knees or on your toes, and you would walk yourself as far as you could one way and as far as you can the other way. So notice my feet are moving, right? The feet, you're pivoting off them, so they're lifting up. And see how my shoulders are right over the palms of my hands? You can't have your hands way over here. That'll make it too easy. And if you have more room in your house, I'm only going about halfway around the world here. Okay, if you have more room, I want you to go all the way in a circle. If you get dizzy, go back the other way. The easier way, obviously, to do the around the world would be to be on your knees with your toes up and walk the knees up as you're going up. Okay? Same principle, have the shoulders right over the palms of the hand, and your bum can't stick up, okay? So the next move we're gonna do after that, move number 5 is called a bootstrapper. So this is really gonna get the front of the legs. You'll even feel the arms working. Okay, so you start with your feet together, and you walk your hands ahead until your knees come down to the floor. So see how I'm on my toes right here, and my knees are just hovering above the ground? And look at the space between the palm of my hand and my knee right now. It's about 3 or 4 inches. That's how it should always look when your knee comes down. Okay, so the hand's gotta be flat. So to do this exercise, you push off your toes until you almost stand up, and then you push ahead again. Okay, so you always push your knees ahead right before they touch the ground. Just like that. Okay, if you're not flexible enough to touch your heels on the ground, that's okay. Get as much as you can. See, my knees are still bent when I stand up. They don't have to be straight. You're just trying to touch your heels down. So same thing, you're distributing the weight between your arms and your legs. And when you're doing this, my feet already move back a little bit, okay? So I want you to look at that spacing between the palms of your hand and your knees. If your feet start moving away, just walk them ahead a little bit to get back into position. Okay, and this is a long set. We do it for 60 seconds. So if your legs feel like they're gonna cramp up, the best thing to do is to extend them out 1 at a time, or you can stand up, but that'll waste a lot of time if you do that, okay? Move number 6 is called a seated punch. This is going to be working your abs and your core, right? The deep muscles in your abs and your lower back. So to get in position, you're going to be on your heels so the toes are up, knees are bent with just a slight bend in them. And then you're going to have your elbows in tight, you're going to make a fist. Okay, so see how my elbows come right back? I don't want you to stop them and limit them. I want them to come right back, and you're punching straight ahead. So see how my upper body's twisting? But I'm punching straight ahead because my elbows are coming back as far as I can. So my chest is up. I don't want you hunched over like this punching. That's not going to work your abs. You got to keep the chest up, the shoulders back. Okay, so the way this one works, you lean back until you feel your abs engage. And you start off there. If it feels too easy, you can lean back a little bit more. Right? You can keep leaning back as it's too easy. Too hard, you sit up a bit more. Okay, as your abs get tired, it's normal to feel your hip flexors, which are the front, top part of the thighs. That's normal. So if it gets way too hard and it starts hurting your lower back, lean forward and rest for a few seconds, okay? Move number 7 we're gonna do, it's called a lie down stand up. It almost looks like a burpee, but it's not, okay? So you stand at the end of your mat like this, and as I come down, I walk one foot out, the other foot, I come down, you touch your whole body on the ground, okay? As I come up, same thing, step the feet in one at a time, you stand up, there's no jumping on this one, okay? So it's not a slow push-up on the way down, watch how I come down. Okay, you come down in a controlled push-up, right? So you're not coming down like this. Okay, you're coming down as quick as you can without crashing on the mat. So you just come down, push up, stand up. Okay, so there's no easier or harder version here. However fast you go, that'll make it harder, right? You gotta push yourself for your intensity level. If you're new, right, go a little bit slower. And if you're advanced, you can go fast. Remember, when you're getting up and down a lot, if you're not used to it, you may get dizzy. If that happens, you can march on the spot and catch your breath. Okay, this is another great full body move. And the last move is a football drill we're gonna do. So we're gonna do a long jump forward on the mat, and then we're gonna do a fast shuffle on the way back, okay? So you stand behind your mat, you use your arms for momentum to jump, okay? So I'll show you the easier ways to just do a little hop like this. You don't have to hop very far if you can't hop. And then the shuffle is just, you're on the balls of the feet. See, the heels are off the ground when I do the shuffle. You can't have straight legs and do the shuffle. It doesn't work like that. You want your legs to burn. So when you land, you gotta land with bent knees. And when you come back, the knees are still bent, heels are off the ground. Okay, the more advanced you are, the further you can jump. So if you want to jump further, same thing, you gotta land in your squat. And you shuffle it back to the position. And keep going. This one's really going to tire the legs and test your cardio. So if you don't feel like you can jump properly, make sure you don't jump as far. Right? If you can only jump an inch, that's all I want you to do. If your knees hurt, if you don't have good knees, then I want you to step it forward, okay? And then do the shuffle on the way back. That's the low impact way. If your knees are bad, step it forward one at a time, shuffle it back. Enjoy day 2, you guys. Rock on.